Hey, good morning to everybody. Happy Saturday. It's Daryl here. It's 4 a.m. bright and early here in Connecticut on the East Coast. I just realized, when I'm about ready to talk about a serious subject, something that's bothering me, I can't hide it in the intro. It's not the usual me. And, I just can't be that happy. There's something serious on my mind, and it shows. I know it shows. All right. Let's just start off by saying I want to call. I don't know what I'm going to title this video yet, but I want to call it exactly what it is. I had a conversation with somebody yesterday that I have a business relationship with. If you look at me from yesterday, you'll know exactly who I'm talking about. I did a video about sitting in this person's business and overhearing a conversation that bothered me. I did the video about 6 months ago. I want to call it exactly what it is. This person came right out and said, "I am racist." I don't know any other way to put this. I thought about trying not to use that word, but this is the word that this person used and just bluntly told me and went on to kind of prove it. And I want to tell you guys how I felt. All right, so let me just start at the very beginning here. I've been kind of not worrying, but I have anxiety because trying to tell him how about Audrey, because the first time I went in there, he's met Audrey before, my ex-girlfriend and best friend that passed away. They got along very good because they both have the same political affiliations. And I had anxiety. At first, somebody has to tell you the news that when somebody close to you passed. And then you become that person that has to transfer the news to somebody else, and it's not easy being on either side of that. And I was kind of dreading. I dread having to tell anybody this, especially, people that knew her. I dread it, as I'm sure that Audrey's sister dreaded telling me. I know she did. Okay, so I go in and I brought it up rather, in the first 5 minutes. I said, you know Audrey, right? And I said, she passed away. And he goes, no crap. And he looks stunned. And then right off the bat, he goes, from COVID? Now, something in my gut, I still haven't worked through this yet. I don't know something bothered me about that. Because he appeared very stunned that she passed away, but then right off the bat, bam, from COVID. And something just didn't seem right there. I'm not sure. Maybe it was on his mind a lot, and I'll get to that. That's a possibility because he informed me that he is not vaccinated, and I'm going to get to that in a second. The point of this video too is I think it's going to change. This conversation is going to have to change where I do business, and it's going to change. It changes a lot of things in me, the way I feel about certain things, and I hope it does with him too. All right. So there's that, and then we went on to talk. I explained to him, but then this is something that really bothered me. Is he started to tell me about an African American friend of his that he lost, but he prefaced this by saying, "Look, I don't usually hang out with those people. I'm racist." Now, I tried to think of a way to say this in this video because I want to talk about this. And I want to go by, the guidelines here, but I didn't know any other way, because this is an important part of this conversation about a lot of conversations. This is something I have heard dozens of times before, and this is something I would like. It's a tough thing to hear, but for the African American people out there, this happens a lot, especially with people that are in the GOP conservative. They'll say, "Look, I'm not racist, but I'm not for critical race theory. That's racist." And or they'll say something along the lines of, "I have nothing against the LGBTQ community, but they shouldn't flaunt it." Now they always say one thing in public, but trust and I swear in the Bible on this. When they are alone with people that they believe, because I don't think he knows that I'm half Native American too, but when they're alone amongst people of what they think is the same race and everything, when they feel safe, they come right out and say, I only like the good ones." This is how he described this person. He seemed intelligent. He talked good, and just everything everything you think he would say. You know, he's not like the other ones. He's not like the bad ones. This is what he said to me. This is what he said to me. And immediately, man, I felt uncomfortable. I want to use this word. I actually felt threatened. And I'm still working through this. Now, I didn't feel it because this guy's about a foot shorter than me. I'm not threatened by him in particular at all. And I'm still trying to figure out what it was, but I felt uncomfortable immediately. And I think it's what he represents. Because I know I've sat in and listened to him talk to a lot of other people before. And there's far more than just him that feel this way. And it made me uncomfortable. It made me feel threatened. And, you know, and I'm obviously not African American, you know, but I think it was just the feeling of hate coming from this person that made me feel uncomfortable. And it seriously, I'm going to have to find somebody else to do business relationships with, because I don't think I could sit down again with this person. I can't sit there, and you know, and I was mute. I didn't say a word. I just let him say what he is. So he went on to describe this good one, you know, that acts like a Caucasian person. That's what he said. Now, for any African American people watching this, you know, and I don't like being, I don't know how you guys look at this. I don't, and I hate to say you guys and us guys and stuff like that. But I know for a fact that when Caucasian people are together, especially people that believe like this guy do, they speak a lot differently than they do in front of other people, a more diverse crowd. These are the same exact guys that say, look, I don't have a problem with race, you know, but I'm not for the critical race theory. That's racist. Or you know, the LGBTQ community. You know, I don't have a problem with those people, but they flaunt it. And then, but when the same people that say this are alone with people they feel comfortable with, it's a whole different story. You hear all the expletives, the derogatory terms. I'm not making this up. Every single time, this is why I know they're full of it. The same exact people that say, you know, that are against critical race theory, because they say that that's racist, right? And every single time I'm alone with one of these people, it comes out a whole different way. A whole different way. Those people, they say, you know, those people, they're lazy, the way they talk, you know, they're trouble, they get arrested, you know, they. All the problems of society, it's they. And this is, every single time, it's the same people that profess not to be racist. Critical race, you know, CRT, that's racist. You know, and this is what just drives me crazy about this, because the face that these people present to public, to then to point at critical race theory and say that, you know, and blame that. But as soon as they're alone with people that they think are like them, this, you know, they just unleash this torrent of racial epithets. And like I said, this is far from a one-time thing. Now, like I said, I really hope, I wanted to do this video honestly and use the words that I heard him describe himself. And I like I said, I hope I could work this out and stay within YouTube regulations. It made me feel uncomfortable. So he went on to talk about how he's not getting vaccinated. Even after I described to him, you know, I didn't describe, you know, he asked me how her passing was, and I told him. I said it was horrible, you know, and the more I hear about it, I don't want to hear anymore. The MRSA, where the phase 2, there's a surgical tape, it starts causing lesions from the MRSA and the feeding tubes and the I forgot what it's called, where they cut into the throat, and you know, and then being alone, it was a horrible way to go. And this person, and this guy that I'm talking to still just proudly professes to be not getting the vaccine. And then part of me, I've been thinking about this morning. Is it his choice? Is it any of my business? Here's the thing. Right after I met with him, I had plans to go have lunch with my family, an older family member, my mom. She's in her late 70s. And I told her the conversation. This hadn't occurred to me yet. And this person meets with the person that I just seen, sits down with dozens of people a day, and he's not vaccinated. And then I'm sitting there without a mask on because of what's happening, what the service that I'm getting. And I go meet with my mom, who's in the high risk category. You see, so it could very easily be my business. This was the final nail in the coffin for me using this guy's business anymore. I have to say this doesn't really pertain to anything else, but there was something else that he said. He knew something very personal about me that I had never told him. And I don't know how he knew that, or he seemed to know that, and that troubled me. I'm still putting this all together, but I got a gut feeling that, that this business relationship needs to end. The purpose of this video is I need to call this out. This is far from the first time that this has happened, where I've sat down with these people, the Republican, GOP, conservative, Trump-supporting people, that in public claim not to, they are not racist. It's that CRT, that's racist. They have nothing against African American people, nothing against the LGBTQ community, but every single time I've sat down alone with one of these people, the stuff that comes out of their mouth is unbelievable. So that tells me right there that you're a hypocrite. You're full of it. I just need to draw attention to this. It bothered me. Like I said, it made me feel threatened. And I'm still working through that. Like I said, this guy was a foot shorter than me, and I'm not physically threatened by him, but I know there's other people. There's probably his friends and all the people he associates with too. And it's a scary authoritarian feeling. That's the vibe I get from it. It felt threatening yesterday. Not that he made it feel threatening, but that's how I felt. Scared of what this person represents for the future of our country. All right, I'm still working through it, and like I said, I hope everything works out with YouTube here. I had to say what I heard and how I heard it to accurately do this video. You guys have a good Saturday. I'll be back later with another video.